Okay, so this is SAT math prep. We're doing 5 questions at a time. These particular 5 questions are the first 5 from the non-calculator section. And in those sections, you'll have 20 questions in 25 minutes. Okay? All right, here we go. First question. X minus 1 equals 3. X minus 1 over 3 equals K. And we know what K is. K is equal to 3. And so X minus 1 over 3 is equal to 3. What we're looking at is just an algebraic equation here where we have variables and our job is to solve for X. What's the value of X? And so we have to undo what's being done to X. We could make 3 a fraction and cross multiply. That's one way to look at it. But ultimately what's going to happen is we're going to have X minus 1 is equal to 9. If we do the cross multiplication way of looking at it, X minus 1 gets multiplied by 1, while 3 gets multiplied by 3. You got to do the opposite of what's being done to X to get it by itself. X now, then, after adding 1 to both sides, X is equal to 10. And that's meant to be one that you can get quickly, under 30 seconds, under 15 seconds if you can. Okay, next up. So they tell you this I is equal to -1. For you, that won't be useful information. Okay, and what we have here are 2 numbers being added together. These are complex numbers. We don't have to know that. We're just combining like terms. We have a 7 and we have a -8 combined to be a -1. Numbers with numbers, and then terms with I together with terms with I. So 3I and 9I give you 12I. And so therefore we'd have letter A. Next up, on Saturday afternoon, Armand sent M text messages. So this is a word problem, and we have to build an expression from this word problem. And so we take out the important information. And so when they say Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours, we jot that down. That's information we're going to need. Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. 2 different people, 2 different rates. And so M text messages each hour for 5 hours. So the total that he did would be 5 times M. Imagine M is, so when you're in trouble, replace the variables with the number. If it was 10 text messages every hour, 5 hours, 5 times 10 gives you 50. That's the total number of text messages sent. And so same thing here, P times 4, 4P. We add these together and we just get the expression 5M plus 4P, the total that was sent by both Armand and Tyrone. Okay, all right. Next up, Kathy is a phone repair tech, and each week she gets a batch of phones that need to be repaired, and then she works on them. And what we have here is an expression with variables in it. It's our job to understand this expression, this equation. And so we have to get the important parts. We have to be able to read and interpret what this equation is saying. So the equation is P equals 108 minus 23D. They tell us what P is. That's the number of phones she has left. And they tell us what D is. That's the number of days that she's worked. So this expression gives us the number of phones she has left. So she has 108, and we take away from the 108, 23 for each day she's worked. So this is basically each day she does 23 phones. Each day she repairs 23 phones. Let's say she's worked for 4 days, if D is equal to 4. So 23 per day times 4 days, then she's done a grand total of 92 phones that week. She had 108 to do, basically, and she take away the 92, that'll let you know how many you have left. And so 108 minus the 92 would mean that she has 16 phones left. And so the question is, what is the meaning of the value of 108? That's basically the amount of phones she starts with, this batch of phones that she need repairs. That would be 108 phones to fix. And each day she takes away 23. Okay. And the last question, number 5. This is a straightforward expression, subtraction of 2 expressions. They're polynomials, but they're multivariable. And so we're trying to combine like terms. And so we have, so we have x squared y. We got to be careful about this minus sign here. The minus sign applies to all the parts inside the parentheses. So we have this x squared y from the first part, and then plus an x squared y from the second part. Altogether 2 of those x squared y. We have a minus 3y squared from the first term, and then a minus is a plus 3y squared from the second term. So there are no y squares. We're just combining like terms, that's all. And now we have a 5xy squared from the first term plus, oh wait, this is a minus times a plus. So minus 3xy squared. So we have 2xy squared. 2x squared y plus 2xy squared. Combining like terms, even though there's multiple variables, don't let that bother you. They have to match for you to be able to combine them together. Okay, 5 questions. Try to get them done under a minute if you can, especially these first ones. They progress and get harder as you go. Okay, all right, great.